More Reflections from the Mountain. Hi, Richard Fontenay here, from the Fontenay magazine. Today's story features Chippy's wisdom. The story of Julech and Chippy began in my book Eternal Unfolding, a journey that turned into a different kind of love story. The book is about Julech Daldavie, who hikes the Canadian Rocky Mountains surrounding the city of Fernie, British Columbia, found in Canada. As the story unfolds and unravels, Julech discovers a deep spiritual awakening and finds his true self in relation to his God. Along the way, he realizes a deep affinity within the beauty and the animals and the birds he encounters. And that love is the essence of all that exists. In the first chapter of the book, Julech teams up with Chippy, who follows along on the journey. Chippy is a wise chipmunk who gives much food for thought for Julech, so that he can digest it over time. This short video continues musings between Julech and Chippy. Chippy, after a long discourse with Julech, bent down from his perch and squinted into Julech's eyes, and said in his most formal chipmunkese voice, "Our natural world lives in the now. It doesn't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself, and we don't worry. Yes, we live the simple life. You should try it." Chippy turned to Julech and asked, "Wouldn't it be better to encourage unity among different cultures and peoples by peaceful means for the common good, than trying to divide and conquer to soothe one's ego or pit one group against the other?" "Why am I here?" Julech asked. "Maybe it's to free yourself from greed, to tame your egotistical tendencies, and to accept the joy and generosity you possess and share them with others," Chippy responded. Chippy asked Julech, "Do you follow the contrarian wisdom of feeding the hungry, giving comfort to the grieving, loving your enemies, being merciful and gentle to others, giving clothing to those who don't have any, and visiting the prisoner?" Julech was stunned and grew very silent when he heard this question. "How can I live in simplicity when I'm surrounded with so much stuff?" asked Julech. "It's simple. Just have the courage to donate the non-essential stuff to those that need it," answered Chippy. "That's more easily said than done," Julech responded. "Oh, but you can do it," said Chippy. As Chippy was grazing in the field, he said to Julech, "When you learn to strip away the noise of life and touch the divine within, you will find you are one with everyone and everything." Chippy looked at Julech and chipped, "When you pray, let it come from the heart and not from your head. If prayer doesn't soften your heart, it's a head game." What do you think of that? Chippy says to Julech, "Don't make compassion difficult. To be compassionate, all you need to do is simply be open to and accept who you are, with all your uniqueness and complexity as a person, and open and accept others in all their complexity and uniqueness. Compassion leaves no room for division and the isms of the world. Start with seeing yourself in a compassionate way and extend that heart set to others in your community, and you can begin to change yourself and compassionately influence others." Julech asked Chippy, "Is it possible to love your enemies?" And Chippy responded, "You humans must learn how to do that if you want to survive for generations to come." And Julech grew silent and wondered whether he could love his enemies and really mean it. In a moment of clarity, Chippy said to Julech, "The pain you suffer, no matter where it comes from, is the crucible through which you come closer to your God. It is truly a spiritual awakening within you, if you accept it as such." Chippy observed, "It seems to me, Julech, that to live in solidarity with those who are left behind in your community, and to commit to supporting and nourishing them so that they can flourish, is to participate in divine mercy and compassion." "And what does that have to do with me?" asked Julech. "Well, it just means you need to act so that you can lift them up and not complain or pass judgment on them. Just do something to help and not to hinder," Chippy replied. Chippy looked at Julech and chipped, "I'm all right with God. You need to find God in the ordinary. Find Him in your relationships with others, in nature, in the cosmos, in the sunset and in the sunrise, in the street, in the poor, the homeless, and yes, even the hardened criminal. God is there. Seek Him, and you will find Him everywhere." "Even in the hardened criminal?" Julech asked. "Yes," responded Chippy. Chippy looked at Julech and asked, "If love is at the root of all that you do, this world will be a much better place, don't you think?" And Julech responded, "You're right, Chippy. I'll try and do my part and hope others will do the same." Chippy again looked at Julech and said, "You humans spend a lot of time judging others as if you really knew their intentions. Do you not know that everyone is loved unconditionally, and no matter what they do, they are still loved? Can you humans do the same and not be so critical of others?" Julech needed time to ponder those questions before answering. Chippy turned to Julech and in utter exasperation chipped, "Julech, Julech, Julech, look deeper. When you find the source of all life within you, you will discover you are intrinsically woven within the medley of all creation that exists outside of you." When Chippy was in the forest, he sang. He savored the forest with all its sounds, smells, and sights. He was in the forest, fully alive. He knew he was home. He could not think. He could not chip. He could only be. He was right with God. And Julech in the forest said, Julech's boots quietly crunched the ground. He savored the forest with all its smells, sights, and sounds. He lost himself to the forest, yet he was fully alive. He reached into his deepest self, his soul. He could not speak, he could not think, he could only be. He was alone, but not alone. He communed with his God in utter silence. He touched the likeness through the gift of the Spirit. He was right with God. And Chippy says to Julech, I offer you, my friends, universal prayer for your troubled world. It's a prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, or the prayer for peace. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me so love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Reflections from the Mountain. To receive more meditative moments with me, Richard Fontenay, just click the subscribe button below. Thank you for watching and listening, and remember, keep safe, stay well, and continue becoming the best version of yourself. Until next time, bye for now.